So good afternoon. I apologize for that wait, but we were just getting everything situated with Haley, and it looks like we can now view her screen. So Haley will be our presenter today as we have our session. She's going to talk about things as now she's now a senior that she wished she knew when she started high school. She'll have some slides to go through, and then we'll wrap up with questions. So if you have questions throughout, you can either shoot them out in the questions box. That comes just to me. No one else, she doesn't see that, but I can relay it to her. Or if at any point you just raise your hand, I'll take that as a cue to unmute you. And we can go that way as well. Just a reminder, you do get extra credit in the class of your choice for attending. And so I'll make a list of everyone who has attended, and teachers will check off when when you use extra credit in their class. We do ask you just do one class of extra credit per or one extra credit section per class. And I think that is all that I have for announcements before we jump in. I do have a 2 o'clock class, so we will only make sure we wrap up by then, but I think that should be fine. Good question. How do you use that extra credit? Yes, email the teacher of the class you want to use it in. I say this every time, and every time I still have students email me. Unless you're using it in my math class, don't email me. Email the teacher of the class you want to use it in. We have a Google Doc, so they can make sure that you're only using it in one class, that kind of thing. Okay? All right, Haley, take it away.
Oh my goodness, I don't understand why it keeps doing that. Okay. I got it. It was like
Okay.
every time I click. So what I wish I knew when I knew it all. It's kind of a play on words there. Okay. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. These are just things that I find important, and I noticed actually helped me, that I learned throughout my high school time or whatever. Get a job in high school. It not only teaches responsibility, you also learn your time management with your schoolwork versus when you're at work or whatever. It also allows you to meet people in the community and could open up opportunities. Try to learn as much as you can about the things that interest you, no matter, oh my goodness, no matter what it is. People in colleges love a kid who feeds their mind. I actually have a very funny story that kind of plays with both 1 and 2. When I was working, I live across the street from me is a bar called Lazy Dog. It's like a restaurant and bar. And I was doing the dishes behind the bar, and this guy was talking to me, and we were just talking about school and stuff. And short story is, he found just what I do very inspiring, and he actually gave me $200. He didn't even count it. He just gave me the cash and said, put this towards your education. And it just really opened my eyes and kind of showed me how, not my job taught me responsibility, but just meeting people in the community, and that there are people that care, and it's the little things for me personally that kind of inspire me. So be nice to the kid that nobody else is nice to. I find that very important. It's not completely school related, but I think a lot of people can relate. I've been on both sides of it. I've been on the sides where, in class, it was hard because I didn't really have any friends. I went to a brick and mortar school, 2 different schools, one my freshman year and a different one my sophomore, and then I went to Branson. So I kind of understand that. And then just to emphasize, it's really hard to overstate the value of working hard and being nice to people. Your teachers say it a lot, and I learned the hard way in high school. I didn't put my best effort forward until it was kind of too late. But it's just very important to put your best effort forward in everything that you do. If you obsessively pay attention in class, you'll cut your study time. You'll cut your study time dramatically and get better grades with half the effort. I think Miss Nedved kind of knows. I I don't really study for her class. I just pay attention during the notes, and it's been great for me. I've been able to get good grades. Um, this one I kind of learned recently. Uh, um, a good standardized test taker. Hold on, I'm sorry. Um, there we go. Sorry. A good standardized test taker eliminates wrong answers and guesses. A great standardized test taker does that without feeling any less confident on the next question. Eliminate, guess, move on, and feel good about it. That's the difference between high scores and average scores. When I was taking the SAT, I noticed that a lot. Sometimes I'd second guess my answer before, and after the first section, it I just kind of went with it and I felt a lot better, and it really is the difference. My dad told me that years ago and I never believed it to be true, and now I get it. Remember that eventually there will be no such thing as summer vacation, so take advantage of the summers. You're far more likely to regret the things you haven't done than the things you have done. That being said, get involved. Um, just yeah, just get involved. Do different things in school that you thought you wouldn't enjoy, and you'll kind of find your own little passions. Do the reading. I cannot emphasize that enough. It kind of bit me in the butt when I was um, in public or in brick and mortar school. I wouldn't do the full reading, and somehow, some way, it came back. Even going to Branson, so just do the reading. Then it's a lot easier. And another big thing is going to college does not need to or have to be a financial burden.
Oh, we lost your screen, Haley.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Oh, we've got your slideshow back.
I don't, how do you see? Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
It's a stupid slideshow on the back of my computer. Do you know why every time I click like the control panel, it like takes away my presentation?
So I know on my Mac, back in the day when I had one, I had it set to where if I like moved my mouse to the bottom of my screen, my desktop would show. Is that maybe what's happening? Is it only happening when you move your mouse to the bottom, or is it happening when you click?
No, see, like when I click the Safari, or like I click on the go to webinar to show my screen, my presentation goes away.
So maybe go into your presentation and go out of like presenter mode. It might have something to do with being in presenter mode. Try just showing it from like Google Slides page. Like it's okay if we can see the extra slides on the side. See if that makes a difference.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't be a problem, but
Oh, it's always loading. Because I have it pulled up next to me so that I can just read it, so I'm not
sure. If we need
on
to,
my
too,
other.
I can just show it on my screen.
It still does it.
Okay, well, why don't we do this? I'll just show on my screen and just tell me when to click.
Okay.
There, now it's working on your screen.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, perfect.
I'm gonna try one thing. Oh, I figured it out. Okay. Because I had two windows open.
Okay, okay, cool.
Um, can you guys see the thing that says remember?
Yep.
Okay. Um, This sounds very mean and harsh, but I kind of have to explain it. Remember that if something sounds like common sense, people will ignore it. It's it's kind of more complex, but it has many meanings. Um, it it's kind of going to the saying that common sense is not all that common. It's just also kind of meaning don't overthink things and trust your gut. I kind of got this quote from this, I totally forgot his name. He's this doctor. Um, it starts with a B. I cannot pronounce it. There's a college named after him. And he kind of explains it as just trust your gut, don't overthink things, and don't try to overcomplex things. Just keep it simple. Just in your presentations and just in general in high school when you're working on work or anything, an assignment sometimes seems like it has to be so much bigger than what it is. Just keep it simple. It's hard to explain. I should have deleted that. This one is huge. Ask for help when you need it. A lot of the highest achieving students get there in part by asking for help when they don't understand the material. If I had known that, I would have been asking help for a lot. Yeah, it's just a big thing. Teachers kind of repeat it and you kind of ignore it, but truthfully, just, ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask questions and stuff. Learn your bad habits and learn how to work around them. Instead of trying to cure your bad habits, try and find a way to work around them. If you procrastinate with Facebook, give yourself a Facebook break for 15 minutes every time you complete a task. If you're always late, set your clock back 15 minutes. Or find the hacks that work for you. My mom has always, since before I was born, she always has her bedroom clocks. She actually changed my dad to set 10 minutes ahead. So that really does work. Be more of a listener than a speaker. Don't confuse this with asking for help. It can have many meanings. All are based upon situations. Always be attentive and listen to the whole conversation, lecture, presentation, etc. before speaking. A lot of times it helps in the end result, and your question or opinion or whatever may have changed by what could be said after. Be excited about the opportunity to go to college, and while you're at it, be thankful for it. I'm a mediocre student. I could have done better in high school, but now that I'm in my senior year, I realized that I can go to a bigger college, but I chose to go to Metro State University, or I'm going to, because one, it's affordable, it's still a university, and it makes sense. You don't have to go to CU Boulder, for example, to get a good education or anything like that. I mean, if it's very specific in what you want to go in, then that makes sense, but you don't have to pay a lot to do it, and there's a lot of tools out there. I don't have the best academic or grade point average. So when I apply for, can you guys still see that screen?
Yep, we see your create your roadmap, the Future College Board. Yep.
Okay, so let me just sign in. So basically what I'm saying is, a lot of scholarships, you have to have either a certain grade point average or do stuff like that. And while, yes, that's great, some of us, or, maybe you don't have the best, or you don't qualify for anything, or a lot of it, there is other answers. So I'm going to show you guys kind of how I applied for scholarships that are here and there kind of money. So you do go to College Board. It doesn't matter how you get or go. I'll kind of start from the beginning. So if you're just logging into College Board, go to Pay for College, and then Grants and Scholarships, and then click the scholarship search. Goodness, that's a tongue twister. So I have to do a new search. So I'll kind of just do an example. you fill out all of this information, and it just shows you what you could qualify for. It narrows it down. And what's great about it is you can just see a brief overview of the requirements. If you don't qualify, great, but you can continue to see it, but it does help. And I did multiple searches, not like, so some of them you can, like your ethnicity, you could choose it or not choose it, and it doesn't really change much. Oh my goodness. And this is great because you can choose that, high school senior. So this is really hard to do if you're, but see how it says control key and command, like when you trying to select multiple, it does take a while. Just so you know, it took me a while. Let me see. Oh my goodness. This is the really cool part. So besides just scholarships, you can choose what you want to see in your results. You can see it changes up there. If you want to see internships, federal aid, loans, research grants, it's cool to be able to control that. Here, so this is a big thing, like for myself, I don't have the greatest academic achievement, so I don't have to have that in my results. Demonstrated financial need, that one's kind of hard. That's kind of personal based on. And then you can choose so like for me personally, I was huge in athletics, so I could choose athletics, or you can kind of choose what you want your scholarship to be based off of. Or you can do none. So this one kind of got tricky for me because I didn't first understand it. But this is how I understood it. It's if you, I don't know actually. It's kind of like if you want to work for them, it doesn't really change much. And you're honestly, So I come from a big military family. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of American Legion. I can never say the word right, but they have great scholarship opportunities, and they actually have this really cool thing, June 10th through I think the 16th or June 17th, in Greeley down by like UNC. They have this kind of like a mini town festival type thing where you run the town and you do different things like learning to vote and passing a bill and all kinds of stuff like that, kind of like what you do in the real world or stuff like that. And then you can actually qualify for a paid scholarship to the school of your choice, all for just getting involved. So you can see how all of the scholarships that I can qualify for and goes on for pages. Some of them can be kind of tricky. Sometimes you have to go to the site. One thing I recommend is kind of looking at the statistics if it's a contest or something, kind of seeing how many can enter, how big, the bigger the submission availability is, the more likely there is a lot more people entering. So I just kind of look at that. Yeah, you kind of get the idea. And then I'll just do, hold on. Okay. I'll just click a random one. So you can see the requirements, what the scholarship can be used for, how it can be used, the application requirements, type of award, minimum, maximum, number of applicants. There's 3 rewards, application deadline, contact, and then you can also click on it and kind of see more about it. See if it's something that you're interested in. So you can kind of get the point of, oops, sorry, I'm never on my Mac, of what you can do. And then there's also other tools, financial aid, that's a big one. If you're wanting, it kind of just breaks it down when applying. College costs, calculators. I just highly recommend using College Board. It's something that I believe like just using, you can use it for everything, kind of play around in it, and you can, there's even, I forget what they're called, but you take like little, I think it's called aptitude tests, where you can kind of see where you're maybe best fit for a career. But we do have more on that. This is a big thing when you're thinking about applying for college too. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just being curious and open-minded is huge. So this is some big things. Many people think of college and a university as a kind of job training for individuals who know exactly what they want to do in their lives and careers. This can be daunting when you don't know what you want to do exactly, and which for some may feel like you have a stronger sense of direction. For a while, actually up until recently, I was going to school to become a neurosurgeon, and it actually kind of blinded me to other things like what I actually now want to do. Most students enter into college or university with the sense of what kind of subjects they want to study, but it's important to be open-minded. In the course of your study, you will be exposed to new ideas, new subjects, and new nuances of subjects you've already studied that you've never before experienced. To start studying, you don't need to know exactly what you want to study and exactly what you want to do with your life. Studying is a process of discovery. All you need is to be curious and open-minded. Now, this last sentence right here, you don't have to choose a major until your 3rd year. Do not take that for every possible major. So some majors require, so you have your prereqs, usually your first 2 years. Usually your end of your second year is when you have to make a definite decision on your major. But it really does vary for every major. So like when I was looking to become a neurosurgeon, I had business as a backup at first. So I was going to take my prereqs, just kind of basic, but actually to do that, you have to take more science-based prereqs. So it just, even though you might not know your exact career choice, maybe you have the top 3, definitely look in depth on that because it's very important. I don't want that to be taken exactly. Just my last slide, you don't know everything. Kind of, your parents, or when we're young, we think that we know it all more than our parents and our teachers. That's wrong. I turned to my teachers and my school counselor a lot, and I learned something new every time, even if I thought I knew what I was doing. And just in general, ask for help and work hard, and it seriously really does pay off to put your best effort forward in high school. And I know it's stressed a lot, but I hope that you really take that literally, because when I made the mistake, and now I'm trying to fix it my senior year, and it's really, really hard. So yeah, I just hope that you guys work hard and take that.
Awesome. I think there's some great advice in that. Thank you so much, Haley, for presenting. So we do have some time if we want to go over some questions. I see a few came in. Question about, is there a homeschool college? That's a good question. To my knowledge, the closest to a homeschool college you're going to get would be to like attend an all online university, which they certainly exist. I did my master's in all online through Central Michigan University. I completed that, finished that last year. But I don't think you're going to find something that's solely homeschool based. I don't know if Haley, if you have any different answers than that, but that was my.
Yeah, I've looked at that too. And I don't know the depths of how that person is or anything, but a big thing that my parents, for me personally, just kind of going on that, it's good to get out onto a college to meet people and stuff, because if you're looking to do a career, it really does establish connections, and it helps you get out into the real world and learn how to socialize and speak in front of people and things like that. So I don't know if it's always the best to do school. They don't really offer homeschool like Miss Nedved said, but so if you go to find colleges and then finding your college fit, they have all kinds of articles and settings and community colleges, career colleges. I don't know exactly where it is, but they do have a test. When I first did it, they had a big test of like, I don't know, it was a lot of questions, but it had what careers I'd be best at, what colleges and stuff like that. So if you play around in here, you could find it.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a great resource for sure. So you can find, maybe a fit for you that would be maybe some online classes, some for, in the classroom, that kind of thing. Other questions? Anything else that you'd like to ask Haley or have her show you? Just as a reminder, I know a few of you came in later. You are eligible for extra credit for being here. I've got all of you written down as attending. Just email the teacher of the class you'd like to use your extra credit for. Obviously, Haley, that goes for you as well. This will likely be our last mentor session of the school year. But always please keep in mind, if there's something you would like to see as a topic or you would like to present on, let me know. Email me. If you don't know how to get in touch with me, get in touch with your homeroom teacher and they can reach out to me. Like I said, we'll probably not have any more this school year unless there's something that comes up, just because April gets crazy with our state testing, and by May, we're probably all experts. But as we get into next year as well, if there's something you can think of that you would like to see, let us know. And a question came in, how much is the extra credit? That's just going to depend on the teacher. So if you're in my class, I usually give 10 points, but I know some teachers have a lot more points, for their class. So each teacher gets to decide on that. So if there are no other questions, I appreciate all of you being here, and a huge thank you again to Haley for presenting. We apologize for that, for the delay as we got our computers figured out, but I think we're good to go. I have recorded this, so if you would like the recording, you can email me and I'll send it to you. And have a wonderful rest of your week and spring break. And I will hopefully see many of you back next year. Caitlin, you're good. I have you down on the list for it. All right, bye guys. Thanks for coming.